All right, can everybody hear me? Awesome. I apologize. I had to update Zoom. Didn't know it was going to be a mandatory thing. Awesome, awesome. Well, I appreciate y'all sticking around, joining me tonight. I hope everybody's ready for tonight's lesson. I'm gonna give it a little bit to let people get in since we're starting later. Give it like 2, 3 minutes. How's everybody doing tonight? All right, so tonight we're going to talk about level two time and sales predominantly. This is quintessential to your evolution in trading. You won't be able to be successful if you can't read level two in time and sales. It's just that simple. I mean, this is what trading. This is what the market essentially is. I don't care what indicator you throw up. What line you draw on your chart. None of that is relevant compared to level two in time and sales because it is the market. Like you literally see every transaction going through, unless we're talking about dark pools and other things of the sort. But you literally see every stroke, every action in the market through level two and time and sell. So we're gonna break this down. It's very important that we take our time while going over this lesson because it will literally change your life. Give it like one more minute. All right. So we're going to be talking about tape reading. We're going to be talking about time and sales and level two. So tape reading. The market itself is nothing more than supply and demand. If this is true, then it would be safe to say the underlying price of a stock is driven by buyers and sellers. So we're going to talk a little bit about supply and demand before we get into tape reading. And you may ask, like, what is tape reading? Tape reading is a combination of looking at level two and time and sales. It's like putting them together. It's what you get. So we're going to break down supply and demand before we can begin to even understand what it is that we're doing, what we're dealing with. So, theories have been created around supply and demand, a relation between the sellers of an asset and the buyers of an asset. They also define the relationship between the availability of a particular item and the increase or decrease in interest in that particular item or item price. Tape reading continued. Mastering the ability to read tape allows traders to see what's happening in the market for themselves. Like I say, guys, there's not going to be any bigger indicator than being able to read tape. This is serious, serious stuff. So please pay attention. There's no better way to see what buyers and sellers are doing than seeing things with your own two eyes. Seeing transactions being put in front of you. All right, so we're gonna look into time and sales. I remember the last session we had someone asked, they were asking about my charts that I had up about do I read time and sales level 2. So yeah, so I was actually glad that you asked that. Going to be breaking down what this all means. Time and sales provides insight to each trade. In doing so, it's possible to see a variety of information. It gives us insight to the date and time. The date and time is the exact time and date of a trade. Direction, it gives us a depiction of whether the trade was sellers or buyers. Price, the exact price when the trade occurred. It gives us volume, size, this will be over here in this column here. The exact number of contracts, shares, etc. that were purchased. So here's a chart of level 2, level 1, level 2. Here's your level 1. Here's your level 2. They just call it level 2. This here is what you guys want to be focusing on when you're looking at the time and sales. You want to see, you want to be watching your charts, but simultaneously seeing what orders are being filled, because a lot of times you're going to have market makers filling around with price levels, and so you want to actually see orders being filled on the bid, and this allows us to see the exact time, the exact millisecond that an order is placed, like goes through, that it is actually filled, and where uh, you have people that are selling. So you can see basically everything that's going on when you begin to start reading this stuff. And we're gonna dive in today about it. Level 2 is in order book, essentially by looking at the bids, which are buyers. So over here, these are your bids. These are all your buy orders coming in. See this 16, you multiply that times 100. That's how many shares that would be, or contracts, or etc. Um, so the bids are the buyers on this side, and the acts, these are your sellers. So by looking at the bids, buyers, and the act sellers, along with the amount of shares and the order route used, these are your different brokerage order routes that are being used, submitted to place these orders. The left side of the chart is made up of the bid side. That's the buyers flooding in here. By looking at the stacked buyers, this allows traders to see the amount of demand on a particular stock. On the right side of this chart, you see the acts here. The acts are the sellers. The X allows us to see the amount of sellers that are waiting at each price level. So a lot of times you'll see a stock rallying, 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 and unless you have levels already set, preset, you may not have a great indication of where it's going, right? Well, besides the level that you probably already have predetermined, guess what? That level was determined by the sellers coming in at a certain price level and selling at that level, right? And you'll know that if you're reading the tape. If you're reading the tape and you're seeing it may like the price may not even be at 368, right? Let's say the price is at 298, right? And let's say the price is at 298, but here you got to order for like 30 times 100, right? Like 3,000 shares uh, for a price level of 300, right? So right there is telling me that I have someone sitting at this price level 300 waiting to sell. That's a line of resistance, possibly, right? If that order gets filled, right? So this is why it's so important to be able to read level two in time and sales, because this is going to be a gateway that's going to, like I said, evolve your trading. Take all the indicators that you have, whatever, and everything that you've learned, and then you incorporate that with level two, which will give you. A lot of people were saying, well, hey Rod, like how do you not get shaken out all the time and these squeeze setups when and dealing in this choppy market? Well, I'm reading level two. I'm seeing, it's giving me more indication of a confirmed breakout or breakdown. And I'm not gonna go on a tangent about it right now. We're gonna talk about. I'm actually gonna show you firsthand level two, and we're gonna walk through this so that you too, if you're not already, can read level two or at least be pointed in the right direction. All right. So we want to make all of this come together. How do we do that? How do we take what we've learned from Kevin and Julius, and how do we make this come together and then take the squeeze? How do we mesh all this together? Right. So give us an example, Rod. What is level two? How do we read tape read? All right. So here's a chart that I took of this was actually last Wednesday. Um, so I'm gonna actually walk you guys through uh, level two on this trade that I took. I actually signaled this, ate very well off of this play, and scalped it. You could day you well, actually I scalped it on one account and I day traded it on the other account. So you can play it both ways. But I'm gonna show you guys, because in order to read, really tape read, and like really get these break out and break down levels down pat, guys, you guys are gonna have to like be able to read this tape. So without further ado, so I'm gonna walk you through how I read tape. The only way I know how is to show you guys trades that I've actually taken firsthand, and just walk you through, what it is that I actually look for in trades and how to read the tape. So I'm not gonna bore you with a lengthy. First of all, we're gonna pull up Thinkorswim platform. Can you guys see my Thinkorswim? Let me see. Let me see. But I have a hard time reading and understanding what I'm seeing. Okay. So here's a question. Here's a statement. I've tried reading it and have a hard time reading it and understanding what I'm seeing. Okay. And I think that's a lot of us when we are trying something new. It can be a lot of numbers thrown at you. I'm gonna try to make this as easy as possible. Easy as possible. Easy peasy, right? So I have Thinkorswim pulled up, and I'm gonna go to on demand, right? And we're going to try to see if we can do play by play of some of these some of these stocks I played. I'm going to show you important levels, why I got into the trade, things that you too should be looking out for, right? So this was Wednesday. So that was the 27th, right? And I'm gonna put this at about 10:30. 10:30. We're gonna look at shop, right? Not beyond. So like I said, guys, it is very important that you're paying attention to what it is that I'm showing you, because like it is literally gonna be a gateway for you, right? All right, so we got shop pulled up. I got the 4-hour chart pulled up. Let me just pause this real quick. All right. All right. So I have SPY pulled up over here. Can everyone see my screen clearly before we begin? You guys see everything? Awesome. All right. So check this out, right? This is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. All right. So here, let's just check out what SPY is doing, right? Because remember our last lesson, we were talking about how it's important to follow SPY. It's very important that we are following SPY's movements before you even think about entering a trade, right? Especially to the depending on what direction you're aiming. If you're in calls, you want a strong market. You know, if you're in puts, then you want a weak market, right? So where are we at right now? Let's just take a look at SPY first of all. So right now we have SPY dumping after, well, it dumped it broke highs, and then it rejected in pre-market, right? So now it's sitting at a critical level I have marked. I have this level 299.65 marked, right? Highlighted differently than this level here. So there are two different time frames of importance, right? We'll get to that in a second. I'll get you situated. But so we have SPY sitting here at a critical level, and so that's important to know, because if it can't hold this level, then what's going to happen? What happens if a ticker can't hold a price level? What happens next? Somebody tell me. Breakdown, right? It drops, it falls, dump. Yes. So you need to be aware of that, first of all, if you're trading, right? So depending on, your direction that you're aiming to trade, or really you shouldn't even have a bias. You shouldn't be biased. You play the stock how the market's playing. So right now we have SPY dumping, right? It's trying to hold above this critical level. So we're going to go back to shop now that we know what SPY is looking like. I have SPY here in this bottom left for you, so you too can follow along with SPY, and we'll see what it's doing. All right, so I'm gonna start. I'm gonna hit play again. I have the 30-minute chart pulled up. I have the 1 hour, the 30-minute. Let me switch this to the 15. That's better. I'll check this out. What do you call this? What kind of pattern is this, guys? Anybody tell me what pattern this is on the 15-minute? Yeah, right. Triangle, bear flag, pennant. You guys got some great eyes, man. Some great eyes. It's gonna really come in handy, especially reading this tape. right? So what are we expecting? What should we be expecting from this pattern right here, right? What are we looking for? Breakout, right? Yeah, continuation, exactly. Before you get a sell-off, especially before a price level sells off, drastically, and it breaks down, breaks through key levels, right? How shop is breaking down through these levels that it was previously holding for so long. You want it to rest. You don't want to just hop in. You want it to rest. Think of it like a dead cat bounce, right? Like if anything drops from far enough, it has to bounce back by the dip, right? That's where you get by the dip from, right? Because it has to come back up before it goes back down. Nothing just straight falls. So you want some kind of, rest period, right? So this is what we have here. We have a rest period. So trading me trading, this is what I'm doing, right? I'm taking notes of this. I'm like, all right, that's cool. It's a pattern. It's awesome, right? I'm drawing my trend lines, just taking note. Just taking note. And yeah, I'm just gonna hit play and we're just gonna see what happens. So I already can see that this is I have a triangle here, bear flag pennant building. So I'm anticipating a breakdown. So right now my low of day is 709, right? So we want to come here and we want to look at the level two. Just looking at the 1 minute chart, I can see that 726 is a clear level of rejection that is rejected, right? And I can see that this 709 is holding. So what I'm looking for is a break below 709 for my entries. And you guys are gonna see things like this happening all the time, right? That's why we're doing this. So I'm just gonna mark price level 709, right? It's going to be my next target of entry. Or you could jump in prematurely now. I wouldn't suggest it, but you could jump in prematurely, you know, just assuming that it's going to break out. It wouldn't be the smartest play. Know your risk management, right? Know your stop loss ahead of time if you are going to take something like this. So let's check out the level two, right? So in order for a stock to move up, you want to see these being above this. You want to see these starting to match up, right? You want to see big numbers. See this 40? You want to see big numbers like 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s flying in here, right? And you want those big numbers to be at this price level because what that's telling you is that people are paying large sums of money at this price level. That's how the price increases. That's how the price continues to rally, to go up. It's when you have people coming in, bulls coming in, not caring what the price is, and they're just buying it up. On the other hand, what you want to see over here is you want to see a bunch of ones. So if you're expecting a rally, you want to see a bunch of ones over here that's basically telling you that no one's selling the stock at that price level, right? You'll have a couple ones, twos come in there. But as long as you don't have anything, like big, like your fives, your tens, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s coming in at that sell and people aren't buying to combat that, then you could potentially go up. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking to see if we're going to get a bounce or if we're going to get a breakout from that 709 level. And this tape is going to let us know where buyers and sellers are stepping in. So just follow with me. I see right here we have what's this right here? Let me zoom in. What's this building right here, right? It's building a trend line, right? What's that? Trend line, right? Trend line of resistance. Look at there. So this is how this is literally how I trade, guys. All right. We have 712 up, 712.70, right? So in order for this to keep going up, we need this to be above this. You guys see that? You guys following along? Let me pause this real quick. Just make sure. Okay, so let me just stop and just read a couple questions real quick. What if it's below? What if it's below it, but there's a lot of buyers still below the price? What if it's below it, but there's a lot of buyers still below the price? Well, then you want to see if those orders get filled. Just because you see them up here doesn't mean that it gets filled. And if it does get filled, then you're going to see them on the time it sells, and they're going to come in. You're going to see them at that price level that it was at. So like seven, if these 31 contracts got filled right at 712, you'll see that here at 712. You'll start seeing them. Um, they'll start breaking up those orders. They'll break them up, and you'll start seeing like 500, 1,500. You know what I'm saying? And when you start seeing those big like 500,000 orders coming in here on the time it sells, that's something that you need to be paying attention to. Yeah, you want the bid to be, you want to, in order for the price to go up, guys, like if it's going to go up, these bids are going to be at that price or like above that price. They're going to start coming in at about or above that price level. You really want it to be above that price level because that's when the price of the stock starts gapping up, right? Like people are just paying whatever for the price for that stock. All right, so we have someone having, I think someone's having some problems. I'm a non-US resident asking if any of you guys were in the same spot. For example, the price is 712 and the buyers are stacked at 712. Then yeah, then if you have buyers at 712.50 and you see bids coming in at 712, then if it happens to drop to 712, then those buyers could pick up those shares. And I mean that could make the stock bounce from that 50, what is it, 50-cent drop, right? Quite possibly. But then once it drops to 720, I'm at 712, you have to have buyers still buying at 712 for it to go back up, if that makes sense. You want to constantly see the bids coming in being higher than what is being shown, especially when you're playing breakouts. That's like very important when you're playing breakouts. That's how you can tell between a fake out and a breakout. A breakout, you're gonna have these numbers stacking and they're gonna be coming in, and people are gonna be eating them up. And the more that we watch this tape, guys, you're gonna see, and it's gonna be a lot easier. Big orders at bid price below the current price can act as support, right? Yes. But see, you'll know that if you're reading the tape, right? If you weren't reading the tape, then you're going back and you're looking through historical data. Now, I'm just gonna throw this term out here and I'm gonna use it again. It's called psychological resistance. Psychological resistance. Can anyone guess what, or does anyone know what I'm talking about? Psychological resistance. Yes, 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 yes. Keep those in mind, right? Keep those in mind. Look, check this out. 712, right? We got 31 stacked at 712. That's not coincidentally. You know, people like big round numbers. People like to sell at big round numbers too. So keep that in mind. Some tape that we're gonna be reading today, you're gonna see what happens at some of these psychological levels. So great job. Got a very, very talented, smart class. Proud to be here with you guys. All right, so I'm gonna hit play again. So what we're looking for is a breakdown below 709. Want to see want to see if this 712 is gonna hold, right? We had some buyers at 712. It fell below 712, right? So in order for this to come back up, we need people, we need these to be 711.50, right? Above this 711.39. It's at 711.44, right? What's happening? See how it's dropping? See how it's dropping because it's not holding above? Look, we just dropped to 709. Okay. So now I'm watching the bid, right? We're at 709. We haven't broke below. I usually wait for a candle. We haven't broke below, so we touched it, right? Then we see what happened. So right here, we know we have buyers at 709 once again, right? This is a clear level of support, right? You guys see how that works? Now, some people probably would have rushed in, right? They saw that big red candle come in right there. They would have been, all in before confirmation. Okay. So we're failing to stay above this 713, 712 level, right? We're hovering above this 709. All right. Now, one of my accounts, I was actually swinging this, and the other, I just scalped it. So I'm going to walk you through play by play. All right. So check out the 15-minute. We have a break out of this pennant, right? Got to break out this pennant, right? Let me pause this real quick. So what should happen next, guys? What's our next course of action, right? We have a bear pennant. We got a triangle. Now we have a break out of this triangle just by looking at our trend lines. It's not everything, right? But just by looking at the break of our trend lines, what do we have? Somebody let me know. So here's a question. So since it broke down, puts would have been good. Got to retest 709. Exactly. Right. So we shouldn't be. You could be in puts actually if you took a break below the 712, which was like the low. Actually, the low would be the 710.61. If you took like the low of that pennant, I mean, you could have done it that way, but you really want a clean breakout, right? I want a clean break of the 709 because we see it's been tested 1, 2, 3 times already. So you don't want to hop in prematurely. Don't get so wrapped up in trying to catch all of the move. You don't need all of the move, and I'm going to show you why. Because I didn't enter just yet when I scalped. I'll let you know when. You want confirmation. Check out the market. Check out the market. Check out SPY too. Right? Check out SPY too. Right? Where are we at on SPY? This is important, right? Where are we at on SPY? Remember when I first started here and I said that we were hovering above? Where are we at now? We're below that critical level that I had marked. Pay attention to that. If you guys can put together, this is actually the 1 minute chart on SPY, but you can watch it on whatever time frame you like. I just like to see what's happening right now because we're testing that level. So I really want to pay attention to what SPY is doing at this key level. Every minute, I want to know what's happening. And check this out, guys. Just check this out. Like this is literally how I trade, right? So what is this? Like what is SPY forming right here? What is all this on the 1 minute? Let me draw a depiction for you. What's it doing here, guys? Can you guys see this? Bear pennant, right? So what should I be expecting to happen? SPY is forming a bear pennant under a critical level. What comes next? Breakdown, right? Don't be so caught up in your conviction though, right? Don't be so caught up in your conviction. We have a good idea of where it could go, but we want confirmation from level 2 and time and sales. We want to know that these buyers aren't here anymore. We want the sellers to take over since we're assuming that it's going down, right? Now, if this doesn't happen, let's just say that I didn't take this trade. Let's just say that it doesn't break down, right? Let's say that it rejects it. You need to have a stop loss in mind if you did hop into that trade. That's why we're waiting for a confirmation, right? If you would have prematurely took this and it wouldn't have went your way, if you would have just prematurely took this trade based off of these bear pivots, you know, I see an inverted hammer forming on the 1 hour. What's this? This is an inverted hammer, right? It all looks good, right? So our hypothesis it's holding so far, but we still need more confirmation. So I'm gonna hit play. You got some buyers here. I want a clean break below 709. Got some buyers here. Look, got some buyers. 709.10, 709.10. We're at 710 right now. So look, if you would have hopped in puts right there, you would have been sweating. You would have been sweating right now. You want to wait for confirmation, guys. It's just like going to a party, right? Just like going to a party, right? How many of you guys ever been to a club or been to a party, right? You don't want to be the first one there. There's no one there. You don't want to be the first one there. Wait for confirmation. Look at SPY. Check out SPY. What's SPY doing? SPY is breaking down. All right. So we really want to be watching what this ticker is doing. It's come back. It's kind of retested this trend line, right? And it's rejected. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Looks like sellers are stepping in, right? Looks like sellers are stepping in. SPY is falling. We need a clean break. We got somebody sitting at the 709 level. Want a clean break. What is SPY doing right now? What is SPY doing right now? Somebody tell me what SPY doing. It's dumping, right? All right. SPY's dumping. We're sitting at this critical level. I want to be in puts. That's what I want to be in. I want to be in puts, but I still want this to break below 709. It's holding, right? You guys see how crazy it is that these buyers are keeping this level? So why enter prematurely, right? If we do get a clean break below this level and they're holding it like this, it's going to be epic. But we need confirmation. What's SPY doing? You always need to be checking what SPY is doing. SPY is still dumping. What's shop doing? Holding, right? Check out this level 2. All right, we're testing it again. SPY is still dumping. Looks like it's trying to make a potential bounce right here. Right? So right now we have a tight range. We have a tight range that we're trading in right now. Check this out. Very tight range right here. Look how these line up. Showing you guys. How these line up like that. You guys see how this level lines up with this level? How it's rejecting that level? Keep that in mind, right? We're trading sideways, tight range here. SPY is dumping. What is SPY forming again? Look at this. So we have some indication of where the market could potentially go. We have an inverse hammer forming here on the 1 hour. Our TTM squeeze is telling us that momentum is bearish. SPY is still dumping. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. SPY is dumping. This is what you need to be paying attention to. This is how you guys should be trading. This is giving you all the confirmation that you're looking in the right direction, which is puts. Now we just need confirmation. That's how you become a sniper. That's how you pull the trigger. Let me just stop the tape real quick. The green dots show on top of the red, so big breakout coming. Yeah. Don't pay so much attention to the green dots if they're not following the red dots. You want to pay attention to the green once they're coming after the red. And you want to pay attention to the histogram bars. So right now on the TTM, on the 15, we have, get used to these cycles, right? What's the cycle? Light blue, dark blue, red, bearish momentum, right? We're in that bearish momentum, right? Let's check out the 1 hour. Light blue, dark blue, red. You had a little bit of yellow, but it shifted back to the to bearish momentum, right? It took a pause pre-market. There's no activity in pre-market, right now. And then it switched back over to bearish momentum. We have a huge engulfing bearish candle here and a inverted hammer forming on the 1 hour, which tells me that we could be potentially heading lower. We have a bear pennant here and a breakout from the bear pennant, which also gives me confirmation that we could be heading lower, right, guys? So this is how you guys should be trading. This is a high probable trade. This isn't like some trade that you're just hoping that something's going to happen. You have reason backing up why you are assuming a stock's going to go in a certain direction. This is how you should be picking and selecting your trades. This is how you will grow your account. All right. So let's get back to level 2 and it's time and sales. All right, boom. I took my entry there. Right there. Right. We're at 704. Spies dumping. Look at the level 2, right? So in order for this to come back, we need buyers to step in at 705, right? No one's stepping in. Check out the sellers. They're everywhere. Threes, twos. I got a 5 at 7. So I have numbers coming in below what the price is at, right? Let me just stop this real quick. Let me just stop this. And then because there's some stuff I need to show you. Price target. I don't know. Let's check out some of my levels. All right. Judging off of my levels, I say potential drop to 667. But I mean that's a long way. That's like it's like almost 20. I say about 669. That's about a $20 move, right? $30 move actually. Like a $30 move. $30. So we're saying that shop is gonna drop $30 based off of my levels. The option price is normally moving quickly. What do you do when you aren't filled? When I'm not filled, I cancel and I try to get another fill. Hopefully, I didn't get in like Mr. Rally. If it moves too much, then I let it go. You missed it. Sometimes, guys, you can jump in like right here. You see how it was consolidating. Sometimes you can. Like I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I will jump in because check this out. Let me show you why. See that trend lines? See that triangle that it started to make? It started, it's going nowhere but down. If you're expecting this move, as long as you properly do what, guys? What am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? As long as you properly do what, you should be fine. What's the word? Determine risk. Yes, stop loss. You need to already have that in your mind before you pull the trigger. If you're going to take that risk, you better know how much you're willing to lose off of this assumption because you don't know what's about to happen. So determine your risk and then go ahead, pull the trigger. You know, if you're expecting it to plummet, go ahead. But just know if you're wrong, be willing to admit that you're wrong. That's the biggest thing. Look, there's nothing wrong with being wrong. You're gonna be wrong. You're not, there's no one in the stock market that is right every single day in and day out. You may be consistent a lot, but you're not gonna be right every single day. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible to be right all the time, guys. You're gonna take L's. Just make sure that you determine your risk, you keep your losses at a minimum, and you know you keep your risk management tight, and you let your winners run for a little bit until this level 2 time and sales tells you when to sell. Right? I hear Kevin say all the time, like I think he changed his name to when do I sell? Right? This is gonna tell you when you need to sell. This level 2, this time and sales. It's going to let you know where the buyers and sellers are at. You know, if you don't see buyers stepping in and your inputs, then why sell? So I got in at that break when I scout. I was already swinging. Now we need to determine our profit target, which we said was going to be about 669. That's about $30, right? From 709, right? Really more than that because it broke out. It broke out at 709. What do the colors indicate on the time and sales? The green are going to show your buy orders getting filled. Your red are going to show your sell orders. And you want to see more like if this was rallying to the upside, you want to see this be like all green, like you know, just green with like 500. These being 500, 200, 500, thousands. You'll see 1500s, 2000. That's a lot of money coming in, guys. It's a lot of shares flooding in. If you're on the sell side, you want to see these, you know, turning red, being bigger numbers. See how I'm scrolling through? You see how it just went through a wave of red? See this wave of red? Look at that. See that 5,000 order that got filled right there? You guys see that? 5,000. So this one order makes up like all these hundreds of orders. It's nothing. You have a couple of these 5,000s, 1,000 comes in, a couple of these 100 comes in. It soaks up all that. That's what you want to get used to watching. That's what I'm saying, guys. You guys, and the only way that you're gonna be proficient at this is if you literally take some time, use on demand, and just look at some of these breakdown plays. Even if you didn't take the trade, right? Even if you didn't take the trade, go look at some of these trades that we're posting and see what happens with time and sales at these big breakout levels, right? Just see the orders that are getting filled. Just watch them. Spend about 30 minutes a day from this day forward. Spend about 30 minutes a day just watching time and sales, and I promise you, you will be proficient. It's the only way. This is like the hardest homework ever because it's not laid out for you. You have to do the work. You have to do the work. Have to do the work. All right. So I'm gonna hit play. So we're looking to see what's happening. We have SPY still dumping, so I don't want to be out right now. Nobody's picking up these shares, right? They're saying it's gonna dump to about 669. I doubt it. I doubt it gets all the way to 669, but we'll see. Look at all these sale orders we got. We got people trying to buy. We got people trying to buy at 690, right? We're not even let me just pause this real quick, right? We're not even at 690. So what does that tell me, right? What does that tell me if I have no one stepping in, you got these ones coming in, that's nothing. You want to see bigger numbers coming in buying up these shares. These ones are nothing, right? So if I have buyers stepping in. I got some buyers, but they're stepping in at look 689, 690. What is that telling me, guys? It can still drop to 690 easily. Go lower. Exactly, guys. Exactly. The only way that you're gonna know that is if you're reading these time and sales. You see that? See how clear that is? Light as day, right? So I know that this potentially has room to drop $3 more, $4 more, right? We're already up a couple hundred, if not thousands of dollars right now off this trade alone, right? From taking this break at 709. Let's just say we got in at 707, right? We're still up like we're down $14 from entry, up a couple hundred, couple thousand, depending on how much you put on the line, right? When do we sell? So let's watch this tape. Right now we got some support at this 691 level. We saw that we had a lot of, and a good reason for that is we saw that we had a lot of some buyers stepping in at 690, right? So that's a clear, and look, 690, right? A round number, right? How coincidental is that, right? Now you could have taken profits here at that bounce. That would have been a nice take profit area, trim area, if you bought multiple contracts. But let me just hold off on here, right? Let me just hold off. So we've come up to almost the 700 level, right? That's a big round number, right? Psychological level 700. I'm just gonna draw, like, this is literally how I trade, guys. I'm gonna draw just a level right there, right? And I'm gonna say to myself, all right, let's say I bought 2 contracts, right? Technically I did. I'm gonna say if we pass this level, then I'll cut my contract. I'm still up, right? I'm still up. I say if we pass this level, then I'll cut my contract and I'll take profit. If we don't, then we could potentially head lower, right? Because look at here, we don't really have anything stopping us. There's really nothing here stopping us, right? All right, I'm gonna hit play. Let's pause this. Here's a question. So when you watch these screens, do you place your orders on phone or do you trade on another screen? I trade on another screen, but I submit all my orders through phone. I've been doing it for a while. I actually want to get to where I'm submitting them on the computer. I have a pretty nice iMac that I want to trade off of, but I've been so accustomed off of trading on my phone. So we're gonna hit play. We want this to break above this 700 level, right? It's the level that it's already come up and tested. See what happens. Let's watch the tape. Let's see where buyers are coming in at. We got buyers at 695, 696. We're at 697, right? So we don't even have anyone wanting the price at where it's at, right? 695. Look, we're at 697. No one wants to buy this right now. It's still going up though, which could be a fake out, right? How is it? Let me just pause this. How is it that we have price going up, but we don't have buyers stepping in? How is that? Why is that? Yeah, it could be SPY. Definitely could be SPY. What's another reason? Fake out. Yeah. You have market makers sitting right there at this level, and they could be seeing sellers coming in, right? Before us, right? Yeah, algos before us, right? And they can drive that price back up, getting people to think, hey, this is a buy the dip moment. Yeah, they see your stop losses. Check this out on the 1 minute. What's this forming on shop? You guys see this? Anyone know what this is? What's that? What's that forming right here on the 1 minute on shop? Bear flag, another bear flag, right? So where do we think that this could potentially go? Potentially go lower, right? All right, I'm gonna hit play and see what happens. Let's look at the tape. So the tape is gonna give us a clear indication. If we get a breakout above the 700 level, right, we're gonna have buyers stepping in, and they're gonna be gobbling up these shares. If not, we're gonna have sellers coming in. Look, we got 10 on the sell side at 700. You guys see that? We got 10 on the sell side. We got 4 on the sell side, right? Boom. Look what's happening. It's breaking down. Getting clearly rejected at that level. We're at 695. So these bids should be coming in. They should be roughly about the same, or these should be higher. Kind of broken out of the pennant, right? We've broken out of the pennant. So while you're looking at this level 2 time of sales, you want to be looking at this chart. We got SPY kind of look like it's bouncing right now. You know, some people might get faked out right here. All right, we wanted to hold above. I wanted to hold above this level. I wanted to hold above this 700 level. I need buyers stepping in. I need to see it, right? I need to see it. I don't see any 700. Do you guys see 700s? I got 700s on the sell side. When you have the numbers over here on the sell side, that's how many contracts are being sold, are looking to be sold. Look at that. We're breaking out of the pennant. So let me just pause this. Right there, we didn't see any buyers stepping in at the 700 level, right? We had price rise to that level. It retested it 3 times, 4 times, right? But we didn't, once it got to the level, we didn't see the buyer stepping in. No one wanted to buy at that 700 level. That's time and sells for you right there. That'll let you know everything. That'll let you know when you need to be selling, when you need to, let it ride. So now we're looking for another break below 691 for a continuation, right? What's our price target? It says 669, right? Still kind of trading. We've tapped, we've tested. Let's see if we get a bounce or if we get a continuation lower. Check out the time and sells, right? No one wants to buy at these levels. No one's stepping in. We're at 696 and time and sells people are buying at 695. To me, it looks like a fake out. It looks like they're trying to get people to buy this supposed bounce. Check out SPY. What's SPY doing? Everyone, what's SPY doing right now? Look over here. It's dumping, right? It's rejecting. Look at that fake out. Dumping. So our bear flag comes to play, right? Let's check this out, right? We need to break below the 691. Check out time and sales, right? We got buyers at 691.31. Coincidentally, that is where our next level of support is at, right? So we want this to drop below the 691.30 level. That's what we want to see. Making lower highs. Check this out. Boom. Look, I got buyers at 689. So right now we're below that previous support right now. That was 691.30. We're at 690, struggling. 690, 689 is our current level that we need to that we need to pass. Still dumping. What is SPY doing, guys? Still dumping, right? It's still going lower. So we have no reason to be out of this trade. This is how you let your winners run. That would have been a nice place to trim. Got got a whole nother like $4 $4 move off the first trim. But we're still dumping, SPY's dumping. Nobody's coming in to buy any of these orders, right? So essentially, this is how you read level two.